Hello and welcome to the Bethany Esports podcast, presented by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. I'm your host as always, Robert Barr. Or I would like to say as always, but because this or the next podcast might be the last one I'm doing for the foreseeable future. To note, I am recording this on Monday, November 25th, 2019, and this Thursday is Thanksgiving in America, so that's why there are no guests today. And also to note, graduation for the fall semester is next week Friday. And I will have my capstone presentation next week Thursday as well. So this means I graduate and will be moving on from school. I have no idea what will become of the podcast when I'm gone, but I hope that someone will take the challenge of continuing the Bethany Esports podcast. Before continuing on with me, I do have some updates to give about Bethany Esports. Currently, we do have merch that is out and merch that is coming soon. Currently, the Bethany bookstore has a hoodie and hat that are available to purchase right now. And coming soon, we will have an online merch and apparel lineup for sale. That will take a little bit longer due to some logistics that need to be ironed out. But the designs have been finalized and can be shown. This will include a jersey, a nicer version of a hoodie, and a pair of pants as well. The jerseys, I do believe, will be customizable with either your name or IGN. Next, I would like to inform people that our League of Legends team has finished seventh in their first split. I had talked with Seth earlier, and he noted that in their first split, he wanted the team to finish within the top 8, which they did manage to do, given seventh. Man, that is a hard word. 7th is higher up than 8th. So, and with the year and semester winding down, I plan to help them stream a few of their scrims so that people can watch it and see how the team is doing. I know one would be this Tuesday, most likely after the release of this episode. So, yeah. Now, moving on to what I had kind of started with, I do graduate this next week, and the following week I will be moving to Arizona, where my parents live, to prepare myself in a pursuit to join the Army. But I digress. This podcast was one of the few things that I had started for my capstone. And to explain, my capstone is about media specifically in esports. I have done many things that I'm actually kind of willing to show people what I have done. So along with this podcast, I have created a player template, player graphic template, kind of like when you see people coming out and you have the portraits of players. I should have it on screen right now. And so this will be the template. This will be used for when the players get their jerseys and they have a photo shoot. So they will be up there with their custom names and everything. It'll look all nice and fancy. Another thing I've done are those beginning and end cards that you see on every podcast. These were meant to be for like any YouTube or videos that we post online. Those will be for like the front and back ends where you can have your custom show titles and episode names, and then the back end you have your all your social media pages, and then you have a previous video graphic. So when you do stuff like those two kind of like images, or not images, projects, you want to make them easily editable for someone else. So like when I'm gone and someone else has to come back later and has to like updates or tweak it a little bit to fit what they need. The projects themselves need to be clear, open-ended, so people can come in, see how it works, and change what they need to change. So the intent is for like longevity. So as I said, after I'm gone, someone else will be there, and then after that person, someone else will be there. So this is to make it easy for multiple people to edit the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm trying to make the first template for it. Whether they change it immediately afterwards, I don't know. That is up to other people. So, but that was the intent behind the creation of what I did. Another thing that I've done is I help the guys record and stream some of their league scrims so that people can enjoy our team play, and so that later the guys can review their matches in a VOD review. And a few other things where I even recorded their comms in it so they can hear how they were calling out and how they were planning before they went and chose to do a decision that they did within game, which helps with the VOD review. I have put in around a total of about 45 hours and counting, considering that I am totally tracking this recording and podcasting right now. Don't mind me. So yeah, I have about 45 hours and counting, and this is the whole capstone idea was to help me create either a portfolio or like a template so that others can come and also pursue a job in esports and kind of figure out what that kind of looks like. The final project that I'm currently working on and will be taking most of my time is should be playing in the background right now. It is a documentary infomercial or something so that the school or others can explain to people that might not know what esports is or why Bethany is doing one. So it's basically a video to explain stuff like that in a short amount of time. So instead of having to say it over and over again, like recruiters or people in the studio or even the esports team themselves can like show someone and say, this is what it is and this is how we were going about it. Now, editing something like this is kind of tedious. So you have to take something like,
there's been a whole new what is that word? Rejuvenation. I don't want to sound like an idiot.
And then create it into something to create anything out of it. Basically, you're finding the nice and good points of it and trying to skirt or scrub through all the like minutia. So yeah, there's that. So I kind of glossed over it, but this or the next one is going to be the last podcast where I'm going to say, I'm your host, Robert Barr. Now, I want to just go through like a thank you list where I just want to, first off, I want to thank Kurt Paulson for allowing me to indulge in something I enjoy as my final project in school. And second, I would like to thank Seth Grabo and Lucas Fricky for putting up with me in the endeavor. And then I would like to thank all the players we have because I just bug them constantly when I wanted to like make a video that involved them, even if they were posted or not. So yeah, there is that. A lot of this project is actually like creating a whole bunch of stuff, and then sometimes you might not even see it, which that's how the real world works. So I want to thank all the players again, because there's a few times I've like, hey, do you want to do something? And there's like, I kind of don't want to. But then I finally got them to do it. And then after doing it, getting it done, we never actually showed it. So I do apologize on that front. And then finally, I'd like to thank everyone that has watched this. I would like to say thank you for watching the Bethany Esports podcast. And I have been your host, Robert Barr. And I hope to see you in the last one.